Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, welcome traders to AITG webinar this Monday evening here in the U.S., New York time. I want to introduce you to those of us that are here today. I'm Dan with AITG. We've also got Gene here. We've got Jimmy here, and we have Roger here, all from AITG. So we're all here to do our best to help you out, answer any questions you might have, and also illustrate as much as we can about this amazing dashboard and also trading system that comes as a part of the starter package. And I notice we've also got a couple of attendees here that have already bought the starter package, at least two of them. I notice Mr. Hall and Mr. Bellamy, welcome here tonight. And I want to start off before we get into too many weeds here and just make it clear on the front end what we call the disclaimer. This is obvious, but we always have to state it. We are not licensed brokers. We're not licensed financial advisors. We don't tell you how to trade. We don't call trades. We don't guarantee results. What we do is we offer you a software that can help you make your trading more convenient and help you do it more intelligently. Every system can have its winning streaks and its losing streaks. We don't guarantee that everyone will make money without effort. You don't push a button and walk away and come back a month later and find out that you're rich. This is not Forex for dummies. You do have to have a little bit of intelligence to overlook or to oversee what's actually going on. Our software will just make that easy for you. And as Gene likes to say, we are not selling the Holy Grail. And of course, this is one you hear all the time. Don't use money you cannot afford to lose when you're trading.
Exactly. Hey, Dan, if you don't mind, let me just ask a quick question for our attendees. If you guys, do you see the little hand raise symbol on your control panel there? If you do, if you can hear us, give us a hands up real quick so we know that you can hear us. All right, Michael's raised his hand. How about you, Matthew? Can you hear us? All right. No hand on Matthew yet.
Matthew,
hey, Michael, oh, go ahead, Dan.
I was asking Matthew if you see that little hand on the screen. If you
on
click
the control
that.
panel there. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Guys, I see he's got a little bitty triangle right on the third left. It says non-attentive. If you look at
it. Maybe he's not logged in yet. Well, we'll continue on. The one other point I wanted to make just on the tail end of this disclaimer is that money management has a major role in how well you do in your trading. That's why you can't always just say, well, did you back test? Did you back test? How'd you do in a month and a week and all that, et cetera, et cetera. It all depends on how you set up your money management in regard to your exiting. You know, in regard to what lot size you use compared to what's your account size. What broker are you with and what kind of leverage do you have? What kind of exits are you doing on a trade by trade, chart by chart basis? And what kind of exits are you doing with overall equity? You know, one of the very powerful things of this setup that we have for you is the ability to close your whole account down based on the equity results. We'll find out that that's a very powerful feature. Every trade doesn't have to win, but you can set it up so that when all the trades sum up together and you're ahead a certain point, it can close all the trades. Well, the way you set that up, what your triggers are, has a big effect. One guy could have it set differently than another person. One person wins, the other person doesn't. So that all factors into the results. So that being said, what we want to try to do today as an overview is to go through this dashboard a bit. Then we're going to go into the trading system on some of the charts. And I want to also emphasize that this is not a substitute for watching the videos that's already on the website. You know, hopefully you've seen them. You know, if you click on the product section and you click on the starter package and you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a whole list of these videos. I think there's one video on the Haas trading system, and I think there's 7 videos on the dashboard itself. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure you take advantage of those and watch those. So today we're going to show an overview, and you should see the dashboard, and everybody should see my mouse moving. This dashboard is an expert advisor. It's an EA. You notice the name of it up here at the top, AITG dashboard at the top right. What it does, it sits on the MT4 platform. Now we, here you see my broker is Traders Way. We use Traders Way. We don't endorse or get any payments from Traders Way. We don't recommend them or represent them, but we do tell you that we do use them. One reason being we are in the United States, and you might be aware that the laws here force brokers to offer very, very low leverage amounts. So we use a non-US broker in order to have a lot better leverage on our trading accounts. The one we happen to use is Traders Way. And by the way, when you get your dashboard, you'll see if you got on a demo account, it'll say demo account, and your name will be beside of it. If you've got a live account, it'll say live account and your name beside of it. So you could use as many live accounts or as many demo accounts as you want, as long as your name right there is exactly the same as what you put on the computer when you purchased the starter package. Now we use 28 pairs. There are more than 28 pairs on most brokers, but when you get beyond that, there's a lot of exotic type pairs that are typically not used by the routine trader. So we have these 28 pairs listed in alphabetical order down this list. And in order for any one of them to be active and be able to be traded, it has to be lit up. If I click on that, it lights up. If I click it again, it turns off. So if I wanted to trade the Aussie CAD, that light would have to be on. I turn it off and the Aussie CAD cannot trade. If I click this 28 button down here, it turns on all 28 of them at the same time. If I hit this red clear all pairs button, it turns them all off at the same time. So you're actually sitting on top of the MT4 platform, and this particular EA is actually put onto a different currency chart. It's put onto we put it on the Euro Turkey, because the Euro Turkey is not one of these 28. You do not want to put this dashboard on one of the 28 pairs. These 28 pairs are listed across the bottom. You see them here because all these 28 charts are open here. I could click any one of these and open the chart. There's a chart open. Go back to Euro Turkey. I go back to the dashboard. I can also click a pink square on the side of any chart there, any currency pair. Click that. It opens a chart. Go back and click on the Euro Turkey. I'm back to the dashboard. You'll notice also the time frames. These particular charts along the bottom right now are in hourly time frames. I happen to have this dashboard set on a daily time frame on this Euro Turkey. That's because what I've been particularly working with lately is taking trades that I only want to happen once a day. Whatever time frame the dashboard is on, each pair will only trade one trade per that time frame. So if I'm on a daily here, then each of these charts, each of these pairs, whenever it trades, will only trade once per day. If I wanted to trade once per hour and just keep going over and over again, I'd change that to an hourly chart. So that's why you see a difference between daily and hourly there.
Okay. Hey, Dan, real quickly here. It looks like we got Matthew is listening now. Matthew, could you give us a raised hand if you can hear us? And hey, so if you guys have any questions, I forgot if we mentioned this at the beginning. Raise your hand or type us a question down in the chat line there. And we'll there we go. Matthew's there.
There's and good. Welcome aboard, Matthew.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, just ask a question and we'll get it answered while Dan's going on with the presentation.
Right.
So thanks, Dan. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Now the other major thing about this dashboard is this part on the right half. This is a graph. We got it set on graph for basket equity, the graph, it will show the net of all the trades accumulated together, all the winners and the losers. And if the winners are more than the losers, it'll be green going up. If the losers are more than the winners at the moment, it'll be red coming down. So you can see the graph and be aware this is in dollars. Everything you see on the graph and the dashboard is about dollars. I bring that up because when we get to looking inside the charts, things we look at on the charts are going to be talked about in pips. All right, so remember the dashboard's in dollars, the charts are in pips when we're doing setups. Now, of course, you got a column for lot size, the spread from the broker. You notice it's a variable spread. It changes all the time. It's pretty low here. That's good. Average daily range, current daily range, trades, take profits, stop losses, long trades, short trades, a trade, a P&L for the trade, plus or minus. TS is trading system. You have to have that box clicked in order for it to work. TS, trading system. All right. Now, the other amazing thing on this, you see all these 28 charts across the bottom. And they're on the 1 hour. Let's say I wanted to change them to 4-hour charts. I just click this button that says chart period, and I put 240 on here. I say okay. Now all those 28 charts are on 4 hours. Isn't that amazing? We still have the dashboard on the daily. It doesn't mess with that. And let's say you had a template. If you created a template on one of the charts, you could click this template button. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm clicking it, and you could put the number of your template. You know, when you get a drop-down box for your templates right up here, one of these templates you want to put on the charts, you put a template number on here, click OK, and all of a sudden all 28 charts have that new template put on them. Remember the old days when you try to do that manually? It's almost impossible.
Yep. One chart at a time.
Now I'll take these back to the 1 hour because we're using 1 hours. I go to 60. Take this down here. Everything's back to 1 hour. Now I'm going to close all these charts out. Here's the button. See this pink button says close charts. I'm going to click close charts. They're all going to close. These last two are getting ready to close. USD yen is closed. All right, they're all closed. The dashboard's still on the Euro Turkey. It didn't change. But let's just say you're starting to set up, and maybe on a given day you just want to trade the pound family. You just click on the pound pairs. You can go through the list here, click the pound pairs, and then if you want to open just those pairs, you click on open charts, and it'll just open those pairs. Let me click this open charts. See, it just put on the pound pairs, just the ones that I clicked. Now I'll take those off, close charts. They're all closed. And let's say I want to open all 28 charts. I got all 28 buttons listed. There's no charts open. I'll click open charts. And here we go. Bam, 28 charts opened all at once. They're all in the 1 hour, and they've all got a template that you had set on them. If you've been doing this for very long and you remember back in time, that kind of power was impossible. So that's one of the reasons why we're able to have a lot of positive benefits with this dashboard. One of the beauties of the dashboard. Okay. Now that's the short story on the dashboard. Now there's a lot more in the dashboard. Well, let me talk about equity. Another thing you can do that's really amazing here is equity lock, basket equity take profit, basket equity stop loss. See on this chart here, the equity chart, you can actually set take profits and stop losses and trails on the whole account equity. That's all done here with the equity lock. And when it hits a profit target, let's say you set an equity profit target of some kind. When you hit it, you can just stop and be done if you do see this green button says go at profit, if you leave that button at go at profit, when you hit your equity target, it'll close all the trades, take that equity, and just start over again, start trading again. It's open for trading again. If you want it to stop after just one time, like stop after one, like I've got right there, it'll take the profit once and stop. That's why
trade, right?
It won't take another trade. It's done till you start it over again. Just to give you an idea, that's one of the reasons I've got this on a daily, because I'm doing a setup now that I want to take just once and done per day. I've got a setup where I want it just to start on the London Open. I want it to hit the profit one time and stop, and just do that once every day. Not a bad idea. That's one of many, many ways you could do this. Or you could let it run over and over and over again on the hourly charts, any other time frame. It'll just run over and over and over again. So that's
right. You say we can run this 24/5 and take a basket and close it and start another one, or you can set your time periods like you said, London, and just take one and done a day. Come back the next day, reset it, and there you go. So much flexibility with this.
Yeah, once you're set up for one and done a day, like I was just talking about on London, it'll start over every day by itself unless you turn it off. So yeah, that's cool. So there you can let it stop, or you could like it. There's two, stop after two. You let it take two baskets and stop, or three and stop, or four and stop, or five and stop. High as it goes, five.
Five is high as it goes.
And then if it just says go at profit, it'll never stop. It'll take the profit and start over continually. Now you got to have
this is where the individual trader has to take in consideration their tolerance and their own trading style and abilities, whether they feel comfortable going 24/5 or one and stop or two and stop. You know, this is not like a glove that one size fits all. You have to figure this thing out, experiment with it, and find out how it's going to best serve your trading needs and desires. And you know my old philosophy, Dan. But what are the two things that really get any trader? Is what? Greed and patience. Impatience or lack of patience.
Lack of patience.
Yeah, we don't know how long you guys have been trading. I think between all four of us, we've been trading probably about 60, 70 years combined. And one of the lessons that I think a lot of us have learned over and over again is if you don't have the patience, it's going to bite you. And if you don't have if you get too greedy, in other words, you want to get too rich too quickly, that's going to bite you also. So
that's right. And you take all that into account when you set your targets. If you push the limit, you may get it. And if you push it too hard, you may miss it.
You might get it 5 times, and then that 6th time you're not. It's going to bite
like
you.
Some people will say, well, I want to set a lower target, but I just want to keep repeating it. I want to do it 2 or 3 times. So instead of going for 100, I'll just go for 50 and take it twice, or go for 25 and take it 10 times, or go for 10 and take it forever. I mean, you can stretch that a bit, but you see the idea of how you can take different approaches to it.
Hey, anyone have any questions so far before we continue? If you do, raise your hand, or again, put something in the chat box for us. So if you get a question, Dan, if you get a question, I'll go ahead and answer it, and or bring it to your attention. So
okay, now I'm gonna go ahead. So I don't see any questions yet, so I'm going to move into a chart. Okay, I'll just click this first one down here, Aussie CAD. Now this has got the Haas trading system on it, AITG Haas trading system. Now the Haas, for those of you who may not have heard of it, it's called Heikin-Ashi Smooth. It's a special type of moving average. It's actually, I believe it's an average of 2 other averages that gives you a smoothing action. And these little red bars and blue bars represent that result.
Downward or upward trends.
That's right, the downward or upward trends. And this indicator here, it's not actually an indicator, but it's like an indicator. It's on the indicator list. This trading system, you click on that, you click on edit, and there's the inputs. By the way, you notice on our, and I didn't show inputs on the dashboard, but they're there. It's not a very long list. It's shorter than this. But you notice on our inputs, they're short lists. You ever see some of these EAs from other places? There's page after page after page of inputs.
Right. It gets kind of confusing.
It's a nightmare to figure out how to set them all. Mm-hmm. We try to keep these simple. But this is the input for the Haas trading system. And this is actually 2 trading systems in one. One is you can use it as the Haas color change, which means when they change from red to blue or blue to red, it'll activate a trade. The other system, you can use it as the Haas direction, which means if it's red, no matter where it's red, if you're on it, if you're on red during the present time, it's going to authorize a short. But we have breakouts associated with that. I'll show you this.
Can or cannot use with that directional, but we recommend using.
Yeah, we've actually grown to prefer it, but that's what we're.
That's your choice.
Yeah,
your call.
That's your choice. Now this sample right here happens to show the breakout lines. Now in this case, since the Heikin Ashis are blue, the only thing that counts is long. Blue means long, it's going up. So if you get a breakout above that green line, it's going to authorize a long. It'll take a long. If
and Dan, it's mentioned. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. Let's mention too that those breakout lines are based off the 2 most current
pivots.
Fractals. No, fractals.
Fractals. Right. Now, let's bring up another point, Roger. Most of our stuff, these trading systems, are not just off-the-shelf indicators that are thrown on there together. In most cases, these things have been uniquely tweaked and peaked and redesigned by our chief programmer to make them uniquely applicable to what we're doing with them. Mm-hmm. And without going into too much detail, this is an example. These are actual, for you indicator nerds, it's a 5-bar confirmed fractal, which is different than the Bill Williams fractals if you're into that scene. Right. These are uniquely designed breakout lines. So if you're blue, you got to go long. You're going to authorize a long. You get above the breakout line, it'll take a long, and we'll show you in a minute on the inputs. You can get out of that trade in all kinds of ways, trailing stops, targets, all kinds of stuff. We'll look at it. If it breaks out short, nothing, no trade. The only time you can get a trade on a breakout short is if the Heikin Ashi is red.
In a downward trend, that's right.
Yeah. So the philosophy,
this is one of the trading systems that comes with a starter package, right?
Absolutely.
That comes with the starter package.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
That sure does. And now, but think about the overall philosophy. If you're in a downward trend and you break out of a red breakout line, what's the odds it's going to be in your favor? The odds is going to be more in your favor than against your favor. Mm-hmm. It's not always going to happen because eventually the thing's going to turn around. But overwhelmingly, the odds are going to be in your favor. But even though you can't say it's going to be every time, the beauty of doing 28 pairs is say, hey, look, yes, I know that on any one given pair, there is no guarantees. There's never any guarantees. But look, on the average, more of these 28 are going to be in line with that direction than are not. Mm-hmm. So if there's more than there are that are not, that greatly increases your odds of being able to take an equity exit in profit. No guarantees.
Equity overall equity of a positive basket.
Yep. The basket, yeah, the basket. That's another term that's used for
another way of looking at it is a basket of pairs. Yep.
The basket of pairs. So that's the power of doing these 28 pairs at the same time, and that's also the power of these Heikin Ashi smooth breakouts. So
now again, like we said, Dan, everyone has a different trading style and desires, and you're not stuck with all 28 pairs like Dan illustrated. You can turn off as many pairs on that 28 list and trade 1 or 2 or 10. You know, you can trade your favorite pairs, or whatever ones you feel are trending in your direction that you like. So,
and you could trade pairs that are more applicable during a certain session.
Yep.
Maybe you like to trade the New York session.
London,
Maybe you like to trade Tokyo. Maybe you like to trade London. You might think that certain pairs are more active in London than others, and you're probably right.
You turn those on and leave yours off. Yep.
You could set on the dashboard, by the way, you can set the timer. There's a timer in it that lets you tell it when to turn on. I've got one I've been running for several days now that I just turn on at the London Open. It automatically comes on to the London Open. I'm in bed asleep. It comes on at the London Open and keeps going until it hits a target. I get up in the morning and go see if I hit it or not. So far, it's hit it, I think, the 45 minutes. I think one took an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. And then you got one and done on that one, right?
Yeah, one and done on that one,
mm-hmm.
which I'll be showing you that here shortly. But here's your inputs again. So to choose this system with the breakout lines, you choose Haas direction. The 28212s, that's just the definition for your Heikin-Ashi smooth indicator here.
Yep. Let's talk about that real quickly. Your method, but your MA periods there, your 8 and your 12, those are crucial.
Right.
Those are that we've experimented with different settings, and again, you can change these to whatever you want. Do all the experimenting you want, and of course,
exactly.
I think you failed to recommend that when you start this. I'm sure you guys know. Start it out with a demo account, at least for a couple of days or a week, until you learn how to drive this high performance machine here before you go live. That's just our recommendation, but do what you wish. But the 8 and 12 periods gives you they're a slow enough, so it's not too fast, it's not too slow. It's kind of like the three bears, the one porridge is too hot, one's too cold. This one's just right.
If it's too fast, then it's changing too often. If it's too slow, it's not changing enough. So we have found this 8 and 12 to be good for our taste. You can experiment.
Good pace for the rate of the fractal breakout lines.
Now here's the breakout line. You have to say true. This is asking if you want to use that. Say yes, true. Use breakout line break. True.
Mm-hmm.
Use line break buffer pips. 2. That means when it does break that line, it has to go over the line. The price has to pass the line by 2 pips before it will take the trade. You can change that number to whatever you want. If you want it to prove itself harder, you could put a bigger number there. But we use 2. Use breakout line close. We've got false here. That means that if it crosses the breakout line, it won't take the trade until the candle closes. Some people think that gives them more confirmation. Some people think, well, that's making you wait too long. Well, we choose, in this example here, we choose not to use that. We don't wait for the candle to close. If it crosses the line by 2 pips, we want in. That's what this setup does. You might experiment and have a different setup. Take profit. Now again, remember I said this is in pips because we're on a chart in pips. Do I want to use a fixed take profit? I could say true and put a pip number down here. I could put 20 pips. Every time it makes 20 pips, it closes the trade and it's done. Or, we said false there. Likewise, you can use a fixed stop loss. We put a 50 pip stop loss on here just as a default. If you want to use that, you say true right here. You could put a true there and put in some different number there if you want to. That's just on that one chart, not all 28, just on that one. Now, you can have it different on all 28 charts if you want to. We tend to have been putting the same one on all the charts, but you can certainly make them unique. Now, this is a good one here. Trailing stop loss pip lock settings. Do we want to use it? True. Yes, we want to use it. Use stop loss pip lock.
Well, this is kind of like the equity step lock or equity lock that we have on the dashboard that calculates in dollars, but this, as you see, calculates in pips. But exactly. You can do that same process as far as lock and trail and lock per pair instead of the whole equity basket.
That's right.
Do it per pair.
And you can do them both. You can do it all at the same time. We will do them both at the same time. Each chart's got a trail on it. Plus, we got a trail on the whole equity on the dashboard. Now this would say if the profit gets to 20 pips, you trail by 18 and lock in 2. You say, well, that's an awful wide trail, but well, yeah, if we made 20, we don't want to lose, but we want to leave it plenty of room to keep going.
Yeah, you want to give yourself breathing room. You don't want to you don't want to stomp yourself out too soon and rip yourself off some of more potential profit.
Right. So if you get to 20, you're going to trail by 18. If you get to 25, you're going to trail by 15. If you get to 30, you're only going to trail by 5. You've locked in 25.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that works. So you can change the numbers whatever you like. You might have an opinion about that or some experience that you like to lean on and have your own ideas.
Yeah. So each target level here is a lock and trail. So it will lock and trail at 20 until you hit 25, and then it'll lock and trail at the next level. And the reason why we go at the third target where we jump it up to a 5 pip trail is it's kind of like a slinky effect or a spring effect. You've reached 30 pips. Now you want to, and these are our charts. Of course, this would be different if we were trading on a 4-hour or a daily chart. Our numbers would be a lot greater. But you got the 30 pips. You want to lock in
more,
more, and
so by the time you get to 30, you're just trading by 5.
Yeah, it's on an hour chart. You look at your pips, your average movement of an hourly candle. So you got to worry about the pullbacks and stuff. You hate to gain 30 and then have it fall back and close with only 10. So,
no,
but again, go ahead, Dan.
That's right. Very good, Raj. Now here, this is use opposite Haas signal exit. Let's say that you're in. Let's say we broke out long here and we're in a long trade. It's dragging along, and it goes down, and this Heikin Ashi turns red. If you say true on this over here, use opposite Haas signal exit true, as soon as that Haas changes color, it will close the trade because you're going in the wrong direction. You got in long, it didn't follow through for you. The Heikin Ashi changed to red, it just closed the trade, so you don't just follow it down into the death spiral. So that's where you can use that for that.
What's in a way that could, you have you're using your stop loss or your stop loss at 50 pips, and by using that use opposite Haas signal, it might get you out when the signal changes. Your trend just changed, so you could save you some pippage on your loss there. You could get out at maybe minus 20 or 25 pips versus 50.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you guys have to experiment and see how this is going to fit you.
Now, use alerts only. Send email alarms. Alert pop up true. So when a trade happens, you're going to get a pop up, which we want to see on the dashboard screen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a quick run view of the Haas. I want to crunch this chart up a little bit. If you were, let's say you're not using the breakout lines, you're using the original Haas cross to cross. As soon as it turned blue, you're in long. You stay in. You can stay in and not get out till it turned red. Or you can get in long here on the new color and have some kind of a trailing stop mechanism here to get out however you want, just like we showed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the two systems. You can go color change to color change, or you can get in on it and then get out with some other mechanism.
Now, one word of caution on going from color change to color change. You can look right here towards the middle left. You got some whipsawing going on, where it could whipsaw you and into some negative returns there. So
yeah, the range. This does better in a trending activity, and the ranging activity this doesn't do as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can see
so
through here.
Again, we don't know what your trading experiences are, but this is what this is all about here. I want to just mention to you guys, as we move forward in this project and your new experience with AITG, we'd like to have opportunity in the future to share your trading experiences with our product, or any experiences you have in the past to, maybe we can better do things in the future. Experience and knowledge is power, which relates to profits. So
now I will show you.
Have any, oh, go ahead, Dan. I was just going to see if they have any questions yet.
Don't see any hands up yet.
All right.
Okay. Now, just real quickly, I'll mention this. This is also part of the trading system here. You can actually manually click a buy or a sell and actually take a trade manually if you have a reason to want to do so. Maybe you want to add on, something's going really in your favor, say this thing's really blowing, it's buy, and you're going to buy a cup, click it one time and add on to it. You can only do it once. If you want to do it more than once, you have to go to the dashboard. But you could do a buy or sell from right here. You can click this and draw a take profit line and slide it up and down. You could draw a stop loss line and slide it up and down. You can close the trades. You can even undock the chart and slide it off to another screen.
If you have multiple screens.
If you have multiple screens, yes. Now the show trades button, you click that, and it will put a mark on to show you where a trade has taken place. Let me try to show you. This is a closed trade.
Go back some.
Yeah.
Here, right there.
This is pretty hard to see, but there's a line. There is a short trade taken there, and it got out right there. That was 9 pips. But you'll see if it's a loser, it'll show as a red line. But you can actually see, what trades actually took place on your chart. And if you only want to show it for today, for example, and because this will show all the trades on the chart from all the past. It'll even show the P&L in dollars of all the past. So if let's say you started a trade last night, and you only want to look at what happened last night, you got to go to your terminal here and go to your account history, and just you can do a custom period and just pick the period that you want to be represented on this list. If it was just yesterday, just put yesterday's date to today's date, or the last 2 days, or whatever days you want to show on the chart as far as these trades, just put those dates in.
For custom, yeah.
That's how that's done. Okay, but I think that's pretty neat to be able to look and see where your trades were. Okay.
Well, with a show of hands, are both of you guys up and running with your systems? All right, Matthew is, and I guess Michael is not. Michael, you're not up yet?
Did you get your system downloaded, Michael?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Good.
Okay. Okay.
And are you guys both running off demos now or live? I guess give me a hands up if you're a demo. All right, Michael's demo.
Is Matthew live or hadn't traded yet?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Do you guys have any questions so far as far as what we've shared? All right.
Okay.
All right, Matthew has a question. Been using this dashboard for quite a while with previous work with, okay, Gene, both live. And okay, good. So Matthew, you're probably very familiar with it then. That's awesome.
All right. Okay. Now, the dashboard itself has a short list of inputs where you can select your lot size. You can select a max spread that you want to allow. But if the spread is higher than what you said, it won't take the trade. Some people like to put 2 in there. I like to put 4 in there. People have their own opinion. You can put some notes up here that will show on the front page here. Most importantly, you can set your equity lock. When the overall, like this is set, when the equity gets to $50, it'll lock in $40 and trail by $10. And you can use 3 steps of that, several steps of that. Here's your timers. where you can set what time you want it to turn on or off. That is the platform. If these are all set to false, by the way, then you can click this little button right up here at the top left. It turns red, and that'll automatically turn your timers on for 24 hours a day. But if you have specified anything in those timers inside the inputs, then that will override this. Okay, don't want to get too far in the weeds here. I want to show, if no more questions right at the moment. I see a hand up. Michael's got a hand up.
Why don't you just unmute him, let him talk?
Yeah,
He's got a question.
Just go ahead and
Unmute him.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
You're on audio, Michael. Did you have a question, sir? Do you have a microphone? He may not have a headset or a microphone.
All right.
Don't know. Well,
No questions. Yeah, he doesn't have a
okay,
microphone.
okay.
No questions.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to slide over another screen.
Yeah,
Show you.
Look at your London trading there.
Let's look at what I've been doing for the last week or so. This was just last night. This is a demo account. I'm trading 0.1 lot on this sample account. And by the way, I think most of you know that when you're looking at all these pairs like this, on the average, 0.1 lot is approximately $1 a pip.
Right. We just rounded off $1 a pip.
Yeah.
But
We know some pairs are a little more, some pairs are a little less, but we just rounded off, say it's $1 a pip. If you're trading 0.01 lot, which is as low as you can go, and Trader's Way does allow that, that would be 10 cents a pip average.
right.
Just a rule of thumb. Okay.
Now again, we want to recommend for new traders. Sounds like Matthew's been trading for a while. But for new traders, especially in demo mode, and getting the feel of this, we recommend using 10 cents a pip and starting balance somewhere around $500, $600, which is I wouldn't go any lower than that.
Yeah, you can use small accounts and start with 10 cents a pip. No problem at all. People are in different worlds on that subject. Some people think $10,000 is like $500.
Yep, and we don't need to know that, and that's your private business. But it's all relative. You got to just make sure that your lot size is portioned correctly to your account balance, so you don't get called on it. The worst thing is get a margin call.
Now, here in this example, I've set this. Go to these inputs. I set the timer to go on. Now, where I live, 4 a.m. is London Open right now. Depending on where you live, it's going to be a different time. But where I live, and I'm on New York time right now, 0400 for Trader's Way, 0400 my time is the London Open. I let it wait. I give it 5 seconds. This is just arbitrary. You don't have to do this to make sure the new candle gets opened. So at 4 a.m., I want to authorize the trading. I want it to stop at 5 p.m. So from 4 a.m. to 5 p.m., this thing is going to allow trades.
That's your trading window time.
Trading window. I set the equity lock. If it hits $50, I want to lock in $40. And it'll trail by $10. So that's my initial settings.
And notice on the dashboard, guys, up there in the top right-hand corner in yellow, we have local time and broker time. Now you have to set that right. That broker time is based on your broker, where he's located. So
this local time will be based on your computer. It's your computer time.
Your computer clock time. So that's automatic.
That's automatic.
You have to set your broker time based on your broker's location.
Right. And by the way, on these inputs that I just showed you, the time is your local computer time. All right. Now, in this example, this is what happened. You notice the 7 and 3 down here. It took 10 trades. 3 were short trades and 7 were long trades. And you'll notice, see this TP column, take profit column? Not one single one of those actually hit its target from the chart. You know, I had the trailing
start.
Right. No stop losses were hit. But on the chart, if I had hit, you know, I set a trailing stops on the chart by pips. None of those ever hit to close the trade. So the trade never closed. So the only thing that closed this is the equity.
But
now
you
you'll find, yeah, had it 50 pips, $50, lock in $40. So you see this went up to $52. In fact, this tells you what's the max net equity is $52.33. So it was trailing by 10 from that point. It backed off by 10 and got out right here at this horizontal line marked where it got out. Now, before it got there, it went down and then back up. It went down by 42 pips approximately. Went down to 42 down here, then swung back up, hit our target. Now, if you wanted to look at those trades, I'm going to turn on the alerts window. Here's the alert window. Now, see where it says basket closed by equity lock? That was at 5:40 my time, my computer time. It started at 4 o'clock, right? So an hour and 40 minutes it took to do this, an hour and 40 minutes in this particular case. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's the 10 trades. They all closed at the same time. Now, it does take a couple seconds for them to close because there's 10 of them, and you might have cases where there's 15 or 20 of them. And I'll tell you this that you probably already know. When you're on a demo account, these close a lot faster than when you're on a live account.
Yep, there will be a little bit of slippage.
Yeah, could be a little bit. It could take 1 or 2 seconds per trade.
It also depends on how fast your computer is and or if you're on a VPS or not also.
Yeah. Now, here's where those trades were taken. Sell trade, buy trade, buy trade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 buys. There's the 7 buys. See that one? That means that's one trade. All right. 7 buys, 3 sells. Now let's just go take a look at those. Now, we don't know that they were all profitable, but we know that the net of them was. So let's take a look. Let me see here. The first one here was one open. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them went on right at 0400. So 5 of them went on at the same time. So let's look at the Aussie NAS. Aussie NAS. Right there. By the way, you can click that button on the left side of the chart name and it'll open up that chart. Let me get this out of the way. Aussie NAS. Now, whatever it did before, we got new lines now, but let me click the show trades button.
Yeah, just select one off and on. There you
go. There it is. There it is. That's a little bitty thing. That one didn't amount to much. See that little red line? By the time this trade went on, the equity had hit its target, and this trade was closed when they all closed at once, and it lost 3 pips. So this guy wasn't in the game, was he?
Nope.
There would have been a breakout line there, and this broke it, got in, and backed off and got out because the basket closed. Now let's look at another one. I got this on another screen. Let's look at the Euro Yen. Euro Yen. Here we are. There's the trade. See that bright green line? 23. See, these breakout lines here are new lines. They were different back then at this point. So this thing opened here, and the whole basket, when the whole basket closed, it was up 25 pips. Now here's another thing. You notice that I got out 50, trail by 10, it got out of what was it, $40 or 42 something. If we'd have let this run, see, I was asleep when this happened, but if you wanted to check on it every once in a while, see how high it would get, this thing kept going. This thing went up 130 pips.
Right. And what's nice about that Haas, let me just mention something characteristic about the Haas is it's a combination averaging moving averages average, and you can tell if the strength of the trend is getting stronger by the increased bar size of the Haas. Now, of course, you get a big market move, the news event, that can change in a heartbeat. So you can't rely on that, but use it as somewhat of a light gauge. So you're looking at now where Dan got in there. You can see that, okay, past couple hours, those Haas bars are getting bigger and bigger.
Bigger, right? They're getting bigger.
You want to keep on,
The other point is this trailing equity that we got out on, got us out at $40-some. If that had not been set and it's allowed to, this thing probably made 200 or 300 pips. All those pairs. Of course, you never know. You're not there watching it 24 hours. So I'm not advocating that, but I'm saying there was a lot of movement from that at London Open, and we got out. We hit our target and got out right here, but this thing really kept going. And you'll see this probably happened on probably 2, 3, or 4 of the other pairs as well. We'll find out here. Yep. This was the Euro Yen, Pound CAD. Let's look at the Pound CAD. These are the trades we took. Pound CAD. See, look at that one. We got in there. We were up only 12 pips, and we hit our equity target and closed all the trades.
Mm-hmm.
The thing went up 130 pips.
Right.
Of course, you never know, right?
You don't know that in real time.
But that was the London Open.
That's where my trading philosophy has to come into play. For me, do you want to be a gambler, or do you want to be logical about this and be wise about it? Don't be greedy and have patience. Right. But if you let the greed factor go in here, this night here on this pair, you made out. Right. What if it turned on you?
I'm not unhappy. I'm not unhappy that I might have got 200 and I took 50. I'm happy I got 50.
Most traders are happy if they make 15 pips in a day. Yeah.
Right.
So you made 50 pips in a day, or 40-something pips in one night, in a couple hours. That's not bad.
Pound CAD. Where are we next? Pound CAD. Pound US. Pound US. Pound US. That's another
19.
winner.
19.
You got up 19 pips.
Mm-hmm.
That trade made $19. It did go on up to 50, but that's okay. No problem. That's still a winner. We had that one little loser so far, didn't we?
Yep.
See, this is Pound US. Pound US next is NASCAD. NASCAD. Here we are. There's another little loser. Pipsqueak. That started long. We had a little pullback of a couple pips, and by the time that happened, the basket got hit and closed all the trades. But look, it went up at 50.
Yep,
all right, so that's 2 little losers. Because when your basket hits, it closes them all. That was NASCAD. Let's go look at the pound NAS.
Yeah, but a lot of that red at the beginning is the spread, right, Dan?
Yeah.
Well, that's the track of the trade there, right? Yeah. But yeah, right. When you look at it here on the equity chart, exactly. That's your spread. It's kind of like jumping into a pool of water.
Yep.
You're gonna sink a little bit before you float back to the top.
Now, on the other days that I've done this here in the last week, this one here has had the most drawdown before it went up. A lot of them only went like 10 pips,
mm-hmm.
$10, $5 or $10. They happened to swing up before they swung down.
Did you mention the snapshot feature on that, Dan? Taking a picture of your screen?
Yeah, you click snapshot here. It'll take a picture of your screen there. I don't want to take any chances of messing it up, Raj.
Well, if you just click, you'll just take a picture.
All right, there it is. I clicked it. It saved the picture. Now I was on, where was I? Euro
No, that is saved into your files in your MT4. So under files. But anyway, we can show that later.
EuroCAD. Here's, you see this green line. It was up 12 pips when the equity target was hit.
Mm-hmm.
It went to 148 pips.
Yep.
EuroCAD. See, you're in the direction of the Haas, and you're breaking out. We broke out of a breakout line. We were in the London session, and she ripped and rolled. That was EuroCAD. We're almost through these. USD Swiss. There's a little winner. It was a short trade, but it only was up 4 pips by the time we hit our equity target, and it closed all the trades, but it did actually go 26 pips. USD Swiss. Let's see what's next. We're almost Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie. That's a little bitty thing. Can't hardly see it. That thing no more than got open till the basket hit and it closed.
Mm-hmm.
3 pips. But the trade went 100 pips.
All right, Dan, we're approaching the top of the hour here. We should probably open the floor for any questions before we sign off. And
good idea.
Yeah.
But you get the point. You get the point. Controlling all the charts individually as well as the equity in total. That's the power.
Yep. All right. So if you don't have any questions, we'd like to invite you guys back Wednesday night if you so desire. Also want to offer you, let you guys know of another program that we're offering for free, just to help you guys get started. It's getting set up, and if you guys need any special one-on-one tutoring, or I am opening a webinar, you just send us an email and let us know your desire, and set up an appointment or a time for us to open up a private one-on-one or one-on-two webinar with you guys to help you further get set up and get going on this great product. So again, any questions, just.
That's a great offer, Roger.
Yep. So, but yeah, we'll do that by appointment only. But we're also going to continue with these webinars Mondays and Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And when we get done here, Matthew, I'd like if you could stand by for a minute, and I'd like to have a little chat with you, one-on-one, and when we get done here. So, Michael, do you have any questions before we sign you off? Okay, Michael. We'll hope to see you Wednesday night. And remember, Michael, if you have any issues or questions, don't hesitate to email, and we'll open up a one-on-one webinar with you. Okay?
The email's info@inteltrade.net.
Yep, there you go. Yeah. All right. All right, Michael, we'll see you later. Have a good night. And okay. Dan, would you unmute Matthew, please?
Yes, sir. Here we are. There you are, Matthew.
Hey, can you hear us, Matthew? Oh, forget, you might not have a mic.
Well, he can type. Can you type in the chat box if you hear us?
Okay. Well, he can hear us. Oh, yeah, he can hear us. Hey, listen, we really appreciate you coming on board with us, and we noticed that you paid for the webinar, weekly webinar service, and you paid for that. We were offering it first 3 months for free. So what we want to do with you is give you the first. You've already paid for 1 month, so we're just going to want to let you know that you're not going to be charged again until after the 4th month. All right. So you won't be charged again for another 4 months for the webinars, for the weekly webinars. Okay, just want to make sure that you understood that we're not going to, you know, going to take your money and run with it. We want to make sure that you understand that we are fair and we're here for you. All right, awesome. Okay, if you don't have any other questions, we look forward to talking to you again here on Wednesday night.
Yes, sir.
All right, you have a good night, Michael. Or I'm sorry, Matthew.